What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome to Woosah Wednesday, everybody. You guys know what this is. This is Black Ink Crew. This is season 5. This is episode 12 of Black Ink Crew. And this episode is called The Grand Reopening. Okay, you guys, you know what we do before we get started. Thank you so much for tuning in to this video. If you would, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And please feel free to comment, okay? Now let's get into this episode. Show opens up with TNA, of course, because Sky has decided to put on a grand launch opening for 113th. She has hired some, they look like Vegas showgirl dancers. Waiting on C. She's got a red carpet out there. She's got a bullhorn. Not this guy needs a bullhorn, but whatever. And they are full on. Welcoming C's back. You know, opening up the shop from it being closed down. So everybody is super excited. C's gives a speech. He says, you know, he really feels like the guys work together in Puerto Rico. And he really feels like they've matured since the whole camping trip. Like, okay. Everybody asks about where Tattoo Baby is. He goes ahead and lets them know that Tattoo Baby friend zoned him, and he's okay he's okay with the bang and the bounce. So I guess he's trying to let us know that he slept with Tattoo Baby, which, in my opinion, is in poor taste. But that's what guys do. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. And he's going to continue on with this theme of talking out of school about his sexcapades through the rest of this episode, obviously. Melody is there, and she makes the announcement that she wants to be manager. And not only is Teddy's face cracked, but so is Sky, because remember, Sky and Melody sort of have commiserated over their disdain for Teddy's management style. So Sky feels some type of way about it. Until Melody mentions that if she becomes the manager, she wants Sky to be co-manager. At that point, of course, Sky is pretty much okay with Melody doing whatever, as long as she co-manager to that whatever. Ted has become the king of walking off. He walks off in this episode repeatedly. And I have to say, it's kind of a bitch move. Yeah, it's kind of a bitch move. He's turned into this person that can't take a lot of confrontation, but then also he turns out to be the kind of dude that dry snitches, you know what I'm saying, that tries to put salt in your game behind your back. Like, it's not a good look. It's a little vagina. So he walks off. Anyway, Duchess is having a Pretty in Ink 1-year anniversary party down in South Carolina or North Carolina, and she gives this really great speech about her customers getting more than one tattoo, and her staff really holding her down. And you know, per Dutch, she has the full waterworks. You know, I don't know. I just feel like everything Dutch it does is for media. It's for social media. It's for attention. Like, I don't think we really know who the genuine Dutch is outside of the fact that she is manipulative. Okay, so she says, a bitch is newly single and I'm stunting on my ex bitch. That makes you guys two bitches that were together, right? It's weird. It's a weird thing to say, but evidently it's a North Carolina thing because they all start to dance after that. So, like, whatever. Then we see C's meeting up with Shit, and Shit is basically talking about how disrespectful they all were in Puerto Rico, how much he doesn't appreciate it, and that they're not talking about just his girlfriend or his chick. They're talking about his wife now. They don't know what he's going through. And he goes on and lets the cat out the bag that Nikki is pregnant. He's like, yeah, I got Nikki pregnant. And so Caesar's kind of devastated. I mean, he's as devastated that shit should be. Shit is like chill about it, and Caesar's devastated. It should be vice versa, because it shouldn't really impact C's, but it does, and C's says, what about the drinking you were doing? I don't understand that. And shit says, at the end of the day, I am a grown ass man. I can make my own decisions. So I'm like, in the words of Bonnie Blue, alright. Okay, cool. So next time your lights is off and you need a little pocket change, then remember you're a grown ass man. Don't ask for nothing, shit. Please don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's a man that can't be helped. He cannot be helped. Okay? He's the kind of person that is determined. He is determined to fall as much as he possibly can. Like, it's the only thing he's familiar with. He doesn't know what it's like to be, strong and successful and continually productive. He doesn't. He makes one bad decision after another. Like, he's a habitual bad decision maker. Anyway, he also lets on that not only that Nikki is pregnant, but she also has lupus. So Caesar's like, what the F is lupus? And he's like, oh, that's when your body cells turn on each other, and she gets bouts of sickness where she's sick for long periods of time and she's down. So I'm like, okay, so she's not working. This story, I'm telling you, it is such a tangled web. Like, it's a dead cat on the line. It's fishy. Like, whatever sentiment or slang or term denotes, something not being right, apply it here, because this is crazy to me. This is crazy. Now she got lupus. It just all seems so unbelievable. And she also says that if all the stuff they said about her wasn't true, but if it was true, it doesn't matter because he loves her anyway. I was like, well, he letting y'all know right then and there. If she set him on fire, then y'all need to just keep going. Then C's tells him, I'm gonna fall back, but I won't disappear. He tells shit, I love you, man. And this is why he's so devastated. He's so devastated because he is fully committed to shit. Like, he is totally loyal to shit, which is so honorable. And to see shit walk off and go up the street while C's was, telling him that he loved him and all of that. Like, he wasn't walking off like, I don't care about you, I don't want to hear it. He was just on his way up the street, and it was just that moment. It's that moment that everyone has when they don't know if they're going to see a person again. Like, they don't know. Like, we all love shit, and we all want what's best for him. He just doesn't want it for himself, and it really, really and truly breaks my heart. I've been following him since the beginning of the show, and I just want shit to win. See, you just want shit to win, but I don't know if shit wants shit to win. Melanie brings 2 figure models in, and they're going to pose nude while the group draws them. It's a man and a woman. Everybody's got jokes. It's all hilarious and fun. Of course, Ted storms out. He walks out. Oh, I just don't understand why he is always walking out. So, yeah, that was a moment. C's is back at 125th, and he's flirting with Kit. Basically, he's newly single, and he feels probably good about himself if it's true that he slept with Tattoo Baby. And he's in full wolf mode. Like, there's no other way to describe it. C's is in full wolf mode. He is in such full wolf mode that he actually think Kit is fine. Okay. I don't know about Kit being fine, but okay. Basically, yeah, he's in full wolf mode. He has 2 young ladies that come into the shop, and one of them wants a sleeve tattoo, and he actually does a really cool tattoo on the girl's arm. So That was pretty nice, but even with that, he was like, damn, she okay guys. So next we see Young Bae. Young Bae is coming into the shop, and Teddy is there, and he notices that she's not doing too well, like she's out of sorts. She sits down, and the moment he says like what's going on, she just breaks down crying. She doesn't really want to talk about it. She said he's like, well, it's your off day, and she's like, I just want to sit down here, be here for a moment. And Teddy's really sweet. He was really sweet to Sky at the camping trip the same way. At the same time, like if something goes south, he'll be the first one to call you a hoe and a bitch in the confessional. So I don't know. Anyway, he's really, really tender with her, and he says it'll help for you to talk about it. So she tells him that back in Korea, her dad, even though her mom and dad are divorced, her dad is threatening to jump her mom, to throw acid in her mom's face. And if he sees Bae again, he wants to throw acid in her face too. And she's upset. She's upset with her mom, I think, because her mom is still in Korea. And maybe she's upset with her mom too because she wanted her to come to America and be with them. But anyway, she decided to stay in Korea, and she's upset about it. She's worried about her mom. She's really, really worried about her mom. And what she's saying is that when I met my husband, that gave me family here. Without my husband, I don't have no family here. She's divorced from this guy, and her mom is it, and she's super worried about her. She works 20 hours a day just to make money to take care of herself and to take care of her mom. But she feel like she owe it to her mom because she went out of her way to protect them and to get them out of the country, to get them away from their daddy, their abusive ass daddy. And it's a moment. She's super, super touching. I can't help but think about Tiffany, because when Tiffany brought Bae over to her house to celebrate her aunt that was killed in a domestic violence incident, Bae expressed that she felt like Tiffany family was her family now. So that's weird that she would say she don't have anybody, in my opinion. But I understand what she's saying. At the same time, I understand her worry too. But she said, that's all I have. I have a little bit of money and I have nothing. And she means nothing in terms of family. And Teddy tells her in a really, really sweet moment that she can always consider them there at 113th her family. So that was a really, really good moment, and they hug. Super, super cute. Then we see Shit and Nikki. And Shit is coming into the house. I don't know where they live at, but anyway, it just seemed like he came in the front door and he was in the bedroom. I don't know. Maybe that was the door to the bedroom. I don't know. Anyway, it was weird. He's got a teddy and flowers, and he's like, oh, baby, baby, sweetie, sweetie. And she's just looking at him a little peculiar. She really looks at him like, why does he have flowers and a teddy bear? And then every time he mentions pregnancy, it's like she remembers that she's pregnant. I don't know. Y'all tell me. If y'all seen the episode, y'all tell me. But is it me, or does it look like Bae remembers that she's pregnant only when Shit reminds her of it? He's oohing and on, and it's a cute little moment, I guess. They seem like they really in love. But at the same time, she's supposed to be on bed rest because she's a high-risk pregnancy because she has lupus. Okay, and Shit says, and I quote, for the rest of my life, it's going to be just me, Nikki, and my baby. Pump your brakes, Shit, because there's also Lulu, whom we love. There's also Achilles, and there's also the baby that you have with Anya. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he just refused. I'm sorry, he just refuses to live in the real world. Then we see Melanie comes in with the guy she's hired named Kevin, whose specialty is realism. She's hired this guy, made an executive decision, hired this guy, and Teddy's pissed off about it. Of course, I think this is another incident where he exits stage left, and Walt and Donna and those think that shit's gonna lose it. He thinks that not only is he gonna oust this guy Kevin like he did Melody when she was first hired, but they think that he's going to pull Melody's arms off, fire her, pull her arms off, and chase Kevin down the street with her arm. Like, they paint this whole scenario where Caesar's just gonna kind of lose it. He doesn't. He thinks it's a wonderful idea because he knows this cat, and he knows this cat's work, and he knows that the dude's gonna bring in good money, right? So everybody's like, oh wow, that's pretty crazy. So people are starting to really buy into this whole thing about Melody being manager. Then we see C's, Teddy, and Walt today at Burger King. And it's a cute moment where they just chit-chatting and talking about when they was young and having parties there and whatnot. And, you know, this is where Teddy tries to kind of dry snitch, low-key salt Melody's game. Yeah, Melody's doing too much. He wants C's to say definitively that you're the boss and Melody is not the boss. But C's not really sure. He really wants to make that money. He tells them that he's trying to franchise. He's trying to open up all kinds of franchises. We know he got 125th. We know he got 113th. And if I'm not mistaken, that's him here in Atlanta, Black Ink Atlanta. So yeah, he's on his way. Like, he doing the daggone thing. So then they get on him and Duchess. They're like, when you and Duchess gonna get back together? He's like, nah, we broken up. We don't need to be back together. They were like, they just started joning him about it. Oh, we thought you would have bought another ring by now and be home greasing her scalp. Oh my gosh, Walter is hilarious. So they end the conversation by Teddy saying, oh, okay. Well, let me know when you and Duchess are back together for real. Let me know. Just let us know. They don't believe him. Anyway, so Teddy, in another sweet gesture, creates like a moment of therapy for Bae. He gets this kind of scarecrow type thing, ties him to a garbage can, brings a bat, and lets her wail on this dummy to get out all her anxiety and all her aggression that she has towards her father and the things he did to her. Really, he says all the people that have done you wrong, and she goes at it. She wears it out. I mean, like, it was a really, really good moment. It was a good idea, and this the Teddy I love. I love the Teddy of last season that sold his shoes to get Sky out of jail. I love the Teddy that consoled Bae. I love the Teddy that will do something like this. The Teddy that call women bitches and hoes behind their back and put stripper poles in the shop and walk off constantly. I don't really know that Teddy. I don't know that Teddy. I don't like that Teddy. This the Teddy I want to stay forever. Okay, so there's another party. This time it's being thrown by Melody to welcome Kevin to the shop. And it's a whole system of flirtation going on here, okay? We got Bae flirting with Kevin, which I think they make a cute couple. We got C's flirting with Allison, which is Sky's good friend. And we have A1. Now, I forgot to mention to y'all that Teddy came in with A1. A1 is the girl that punched Kit in the face when Kit came in the shop talking out the side of her neck. Okay, she also worked at Black Ink many, many years ago and was fired for fighting then. Okay, so now Teddy's hired this girl, and Melody was expecting C's to oust the girl since she was a fighter, but he's like, cool, I'm gonna try to respect Teddy's decision too. Like, he's not picking a side right now. C's is not trying to pick a side right now at all, which I can respect, okay? So, C's is flirting, Bae is flirting, and we see A1 walk up into a conversation that Kit is having with another group of girls, and you know, Kit is kind of thrown off a little bit. She's like, hello, and you know, she was just like, she just went in. She was just like, I just want to know what you're doing here. What do you mean they hired you? The C's know they hired you? Are you sure? And of course, she was shading her in the confessional real bad. Well, I just want to say that A1 went in and let have on Kit, okay? All right? She told her, what? Why do you have a problem with me because I punched you 3 times in the face? Is that why you have a problem with me? And Kit was like, yeah, that's kind of sort of it. And she was like, it has nothing to do with business. Business and personal is 2 separate things. And Kit is going on and on and on. They calling C's over there. And A1 says that you a receptionist, a paper pusher, okay? You don't have nothing to do with this. You the only one not banging up in this shop. And Kit is so stunned. And her face is so singed. You know, the hairs on her face is so singed. Okay, you have no choice but to walk off and get some air. Okay, get some air up underneath that thing to put them fires out, put that smoldering embers out in your face. Like she shut your face down altogether. Loved it. So Kit leaves out and she's talking to some imaginary people about how you gonna let her talk to me like this, and you must not know who I am. It's a lot of people that want me to work here and want me to leave here and come work for them. Y'all lucky to have me. And she goes outside. Caesar follows her. He gets out there and he's trying to console her and tell her ask her what's going on. And she says, I can't believe you let her talk to me like this. And at this moment, there's a little bit of affection between the two of them. Like you can kind of tell the way they looking and the way they talking. Now they both been drinking, but at the same time, you can kind of tell that it's been some conversation, some steady ongoing flirtation between the two of them for a while. You can tell by the way they talk. And she was like, I think I want to go home. And he was like, well, I'll take you home. So they get in C's Mercedes, and as soon as he get in, he got the seat back, and he let if you get in a car with a dude and he let the seat all the way back and look over at you like that, you already know what it is. If dude let a seat back and get all slumped down in that seat and start talking all low, you know what it is. You know what it is. And she did too. So they kiss, and she's like, oh, I can't believe we kiss. I kind of like it. And they kiss again. The second time, Melody's walking by on her phone pretending she is talking, and she see them kissing, and she's like, what? This is some good tea. I agree. It is some good tea. Now, I do know that Duchess is broken up with C's, but weren't you shopping for baby gifts for Melody with Duchess? Weren't y'all talking? Weren't you saying that you and Melody had gotten close? What are the rules here, people? So he's like, oh, well, let me take you home. You might not come back out tonight. And she's like, what are you trying to say? And he's like, she said, you trying to call this a Netflix and chill? And C's was like, yeah. She was like, okay, well, I'm cool with a Netflix and chill. And they went home and did it. Her house, his house, I don't know, but they went home and did it. Okay, you guys, that's Black Ink Crew. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it's about. Put your comments down below. Did anybody notice that Melody was totally wearing bondage wear in her confessional scenes? She was totally wearing bondage wear. Wasn't she wearing like her tits like in a strap, a harness type thing? Like that was crazy. What do you guys think about Melody being manager? Okay. What y'all think about Nikki being pregnant? What y'all think about lupus? Y'all think this shit for real? I don't know. Okay, you guys, remember to subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up. And please, please, please talk to me down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time,